2, 3, 4. When I'm lonely, I drink a fancy beer.
Fancy beer.
Oh, when I want you only, I drink a fancy beer.
Fancy beer.
And when the weather's stormy and daybreak is far, I'd throw an extra $1.50 on the bar. There's no sense in saving pennies if I don't know where you are. Oh, I drink a fancy beer.
Fancy beer.
Welcome to the Beer Show. I'm Steve B.
I'm Eric T.
And this episode we are going to be covering some lagers. It's just a wonderful style beer. A lot of people love it and drink it all the time. It's a good daytime beer, beach beer. What do we got on tap?
I think our first beer is going to be from Kona. It's Kona Brews. It's going to be a longboard lager.
Fantastic. I'll get those ready for us.
Fantastic. Now, lager's a popular beer. For a lot of people who are just coming out of the mass consumption beers, this is a really light beer, really accessible, great
Right.
one to get into.
It is.
Nice and light, but it still has the craft beer flavor. You're really going to like this beer, this style of beer, I should say. And I think the ones we have lined up today are some winners.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. And lager, of course, is well, in the German translation is it means like basement or warehouse or cellar, something like that, because it's fermented. Has to be extremely cold when it's fermented, and of course, best served cold. Absolutely want it served cold. Really clean, light and
Yeah.
bright color.
That's the first thing I'm noticing. Very light, relatively low in carbonation. I mean, you see some bubbles in there,
Out there.
but it's
Yeah, a few bubbles. I got a little bit more of a head. I think
I think I was a little
I
delicate
poured it a
on
little
pouring
bit more
mine.
aggressively, but no, this is a wonderful clear beer. Good looking color. Yeah, it just smells so refreshing right off the bat.
Yeah, very citrusy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, cheers, Steve.
Wait, cheers.
Oh yeah, nice
So
clean.
Oh wow, real super clean finish. I love that. Very refreshing, and clean on the palate. Real nice finish. Not hoppy at all. Very mild. As Eric mentioned, this one is from Kona Brewing Company, which is Big Island.
Yeah, Big Island, based in Kailua, Kona town.
All right.
They're in the process of putting up a new facility right now down the Kuakini Highway, just right around the corner from their original shop and where they're at right now. Looking for some bigger and better things out of them.
Sure. Let's hey, without further ado, let's go
Let's
to
hit
the
the beer light.
light.
Let's check the color on this guy.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me fire up the beer light.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. You can definitely see those nice few bubbles going, little tiny bubbles going through.
One of my favorite
That looks
features.
amazing. Can we hurry up? I'm thirsty.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're looking at pretty light in color here. I'm thinking maybe 3.
So this is our
This is our beer chart,
our
our
S-
SRM chart.
SRM chart, which is the standard reference measurement chart, and basically just about color of the beer.
Yeah, it's
What'd
an
you
easy way
say,
to.
3?
I'm thinking it's about a 3.
Yeah, okay.
How's that look to you? 3, maybe 4?
Yeah, it's right in there for sure.
We call it 3.5.
It's a great color. SRMs, yeah, I would say about 3.5. The bubbles and stuff, its carbonation's obviously on the light side, as most lagers, but man, it's really tasty. It's refreshing. It's, obviously you want to serve it cold, as we mentioned.
It's a good beer all around. Now, obviously, color is only one way to compare beers. There's other ways, obviously, in terms of ABUs or ABVs and IBUs.
Right. The IBUs being the international bittering units, which is really dependent on how much hops is used as to how bitter the beer is. Lagers, of course, are very on the low scale.
Yeah, I
Low
believe
end.
this one here is about an 18.
18 it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on the money. And as far as alcohol by volume, It's also fairly low, like most lagers. This one comes in at 4.6.
Right.
So
So it's a
Very
pretty
approachable.
light beer in terms of craft beer world anyhow. It's not one of those real heavy beers that are going to knock you back in your lazy boy for the night. You know, you have a couple of these when you're out doing the yard work or whatever else.
exactly.
You know?
And I know your yard is about a 3-beer mow,
Yeah, and if I really want to get crazy,
depending on
depending on how much beer's left in the fridge, I can weed whack and stuff like that as well.
And what's nice too about what I do like, one of the things I like anyway about Kona Brews is that their packaging. So it's available in 12-ounce cans in a 6-pack. You can also buy singles, 16-ounce cans,
Right.
which is kind of nice. They also do 12-ounce bottles in 6-packs. And
nice.
Additionally, they make a 22-ounce bottle, which is also kind of interesting because a lot of other breweries,
That's a good grab and go for the beach.
they do one or the other. Most breweries do one or the other, not all those different
Right.
sizes.
I wonder if that's, you might have heard the news lately that Kona Brews has been part of the Craft Brew Alliance for a couple of years now, and Anheuser-Busch has always been a minority holder in that, but they just stepped up and they made an offer to purchase 51% of the Craft Brew Alliance, which includes Kona Brews, Omission Beer, and I believe it was Red Hook up in Seattle, and a couple
Okay.
more. But Anheuser-Busch is taking these guys under their wing and putting them as part of their craft brew division. So I think that's probably going to help. That's probably helping offer all these different bottling techniques and offer a
right.
whole lot more
Yeah.
opportunity for them.
And I know you mentioned too, we were talking earlier about distribution because of that.
Oh yeah, that opens it wide open.
Right, and so now they're going through I think 15 states and
They're in all 50 states.
or 50
now.
sorry, excuse
Yeah.
me, 50 states and a bunch of countries too, right? You said.
Yeah, they're worldwide now. I mean, any place you find the Budweiser, any Budweiser product, Anheuser-Busch product, you're going to be able to find Kona Brews pretty soon.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and of course lagers. I mean, as far as food pairings go, I'm just going to touch that quickly.
Oh yeah.
It's hot dogs.
Yeah.
It's hot dogs, it's pizza, it's hamburgers, it's on the beach, you're grilling, you're chilling, and you're having a lager. And this
Yeah.
is a great one to do that with.
This is perfect.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, you know what? We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of the commercial break, we will rate this beer on a scale of 1 to 10, just to give you some sort of a reference as to where we feel it is on the flavor chart and everything else. So we'll see you in a bit.
See you in a minute.
I didn't know you had so much salad. Hey, there's Joe. Come on. I'm hanging up my spikes, dear. Hey, Joe, where are all the products? They're still there. Oh, you're not doing so good, huh?
He was doing so badly, they wanted to give him his money back.
Hey, I'm getting hungry. How about a hot dog and some beer? Good idea. Right here. Here we go. What do you need? 4 hot dogs. 4 hot dogs. 4 Miller High Life? 4 Miller.
Enjoy life with the bright, clear tasting beer.
Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beer. Always bright, clear, sparkling. Celebrating 110 years of brewing quality. Unequaled, unquestioned, unchanging.
Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beer.
Go warm. No, I just thought of something. This is the only booth where I've been a winner.
Flavorful, distinctive.
Open a Budweiser and pour yourself the most inviting glass of beer you've ever tasted. Cold, golden Budweiser with that good taste for good times. So go ahead. Live life, every golden minute of it. Enjoy Budweiser. Every golden drop of it.
Budweiser beer is for folks who know where there's life. Where there's life.
Go ahead.
Where there's life, there's Bud.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
I hope you enjoyed that little short commercial break. I'm Steve B. This is Eric T. So we are, as mentioned, we're going to rate this beer. We're going to quickly get into our second beer, which is another lager, of course, in the lager show, the lager episode. Eric, what are your thoughts?
You know, it's a good beer, balanced. The flavors, like it's a good entry level craft beer. That being said, it doesn't have everything I'm looking for in a craft beer, because it is a little lighter. I think it's well made, but I'm gonna go about a 7.5 on it, just because there is room for more flavor. But I mean that's what this beer is made for. It's not made to be over the top and full of flavor. It's made to be refreshing, clean. It is what it's supposed to be, and in terms of hitting its mark for what it's supposed to be, it's 9s or 10s. But in compared to other craft beers out there, maybe even other lagers out there, I'm gonna go 7.5.
Yep, and I'm with you. I agree 100%. I was going to say 7, and so 7 is where I'm at with it because of all the things you mentioned. And so I'm going to set that right there, so we have a reference just for the color, and we're going to move into. Especially having seen that commercial of that woman on the beach.
Oh, that sets it right up, doesn't it?
It sets us up perfectly for the Bikini Blonde Lager.
Yeah, that's Maui Brews. Couldn't have been better with that beach shot there.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's what sailors come ashore for, right? That was the old tagline, anyhow.
That's right. Yeah, and here's the new label. They changed their label a couple of years ago, but you're right. They used to have the what the sailors really came ashore for was their line. Anyway, here we go. We can
get rid of that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're looking at Maui Brews. It's currently based in Kihei, Maui, kind of on the south shore of Maui. They've been around for 15 years almost?
Almost 15 years now. They started out in 2005, and back then they were brewing about 60,000 barrels a year, and then today, now they're up to over 300,000 barrels a year, which is phenomenal growth, and you'll see why when you taste it. This is a great beer. It's a German-style Helles Lager. Helles Lager is German, as I mentioned, southern German beer. Munich, right around Munich, is really where they come from, and they're known for the finish on these beers is great. They use Hallertau hops, bittering hops, Hallertau, and it really comes through in this beer. I love this beer. So without further ado, well, cheers.
Wow, cheers. We gotta try it.
Yes. Look at the head on that, man.
Yeah, that's a beer.
That's creamy, big, foamy head. I love it. Cheers.
It tastes like a beer too. It tastes like a beer should taste. Yeah. It's still got the citrus note, but it's got a little bit more flavor to it, I think. A little bit more than the Longboard had.
And that's those Hallertau hops coming through. And that's really that German, it almost, I don't know why, it conjures up images of Germany for me. It's a real German flavor to me.
Yeah, but it's still drinkable. It's not over the top bitter or anything like that.
No. And jumping ahead to the IBUs, it's 18.
Yeah, so it's right there in line with Longboard.
Exactly.
No more, no less.
Exactly.
Right there, and I think the ABV is about the same as well, right?
Yeah.
Or pretty close to it. This may be a 4.8 as opposed to a 4.6.
Yes. Right. In fact, if you look it up, it'll tell you 5.1, but on the can itself, I'm sorry, let me put that out there. On the can itself, it actually says 4.8, so
yeah,
I don't know
somewhere
where
in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it dropped. They dropped it a couple of small points over the years. But without further ado, let's go to the beer light.
Back to the beer light.
Oh, it's already on. Look at that.
Look at that.
That color is.
That's a little more colorful.
Yep.
And it's like I said, it's just another way to measure your beer or compare your beers. We're looking at a solid 4, maybe even a 5 on here. Maybe Steve can help me out.
Yeah, I'm going 4.5, maybe a 5. 4.5.
Okay.
Let's call it 4.5.
Yeah, so we're a good one shade to shade and a half darker than the Kona brews.
Yeah, the Longboard.
Yeah, it's a very nice flavor, very nice color. Everything about it's really good.
Flavor-wise, it's I think a lot more flavor on the finish. Yeah, it's just as refreshing.
Yeah.
But you're just getting a lot more flavor on the finish, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, to me, this is a great everyday beer.
Right. And again, it's a lager, so you can't get too fancy with your food pairings per se, but it's a hot dog and pizza kind of a beer. It's a hot day on the beach.
What more do you need?
Bikini Blonde lager. I mean, what else can we say?
Nah, that's a nice one.
I love it. And packaging-wise, they only are available in cans. They're just 6-pack, 12-ounce cans. That's it. That's all
Right.
they got. And that's fine,
Keep it simple.
That's right, and I
It's
like
the,
that about them.
Yeah, the Henry Ford model, right? You can have anything you want as long as you want black.
That's right.
You know? Yeah, nothing wrong with the cans.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, great flavor, great beer. Carbonation, again, is very similar. I mean, it might even be a bit less than the...
Well, I think we lost a lot of carbonation to the head because this one had substantially more head to it than the
True.
other one.
True, it did, and it's kind of bubbled out maybe a little bit, but although yours is still looking very
It's still a little bubbly.
bubbly, yeah.
Now, one thing we do want to mention about Maui Brews is that they are an independent, family-owned brewery. And maybe again, getting back to the bottling and why cans only, it does keep their assembly line costs down.
Yep.
There's only one product that they put out aside from the kegs, obviously.
Yeah.
It makes it more efficient in terms of bottling, in terms of packaging, in terms of storage, shipping, everything else. And I believe it's a little more ecological too.
Oh,
So
sure.
More power to them.
And I think this has got to be their number one selling beer.
Yeah, this
I
is
would
definitely
imagine.
their flagship beer. I mean, this is what kicked it off for them back in 2005.
Yeah.
I mean, when they opened up in 2005, they were just a brew pub up in the Peely.
Yeah.
2 years later, they had to open up another facility, a canning facility, because people couldn't fill their growlers fast enough.
In Lahaina.
So they opened up that first facility up there, just off the Poly. And
Right.
of course, recently, a couple of years later, they opened up the bigger facility down in Kihei.
Which is massive, and we will no doubt go down there at some point and show you guys firsthand what it is down there. It's really phenomenal. But what we are going to show you tonight is something that is quite unique. The first Friday of every month down at the Fairmont Kealani's in the south side of Maui, they do First Firkin Friday. And so that is actually we're going to show you a clip where Eric and I went down for this event. And it's, the reason we bring it up now is that it's a cast ale, and they tap it, and it's just happened to be a Bikini Blonde lager that is infused with coffee beans.
Yeah, that was quite an ordeal.
It was a great afternoon.
Great day.
A great day and a great afternoon down there. We were well taken care of by our bartender.
Yeah, thanks to Chris and the Kealani.
Yeah, and we really want to shout out to Chris and the Kealani for hooking us up with some. That is such a great beer, and maybe we'll just get right into
Great
that
lobby
clip.
bar too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's fire it up. Let's see the
Yeah.
clip.
Let's roll a clip. And here we go. So this is the first Friday.
This is the first time we're enjoying it anyhow. Apparently this has been an ongoing thing, and we hope to be part of the tradition going forward.
Yeah.
Here we see Chris explain to Steve about putting in the tap on top, or putting in the vent on top.
Right. Well, there's two wooden bungs in there, as they call them, and he's tapping out the first one there just as a vent.
Gotcha. Because without that, obviously, you couldn't pour anything.
Right. Because one of the biggest differences anyway with a cast ale is that it's gravity fed. Right. It's not
Oh, I
pumped.
see, yeah,
It's not pumped
right.
with CO2.
There's no CO2, nothing
to
forcing it out.
To force the beer up through a tube and out through a traditional tap that you might see on a bar top.
Gotcha. That's why it's laying in that
In that horizontal position at a slight angle, call it 10 degrees. He actually adjusts it here in a moment. Or he may have already done that, but in any case, so he's vented it.
It looks like it's still testing the air, and it sounded like it was still coming out. So it should be, any residual carbonation should have already been out by this time. So you're not going to get a whole lot of foaming when you when you tap it. Here
There
we
you go. He just repositioned it. He's just now kind of explaining to me, like, you need to kind of hit this thing pretty hard, you know, don't baby it. Right?
No, make sure you can feel it.
Make sure you hit it because you've got to. It's going to spray beer, obviously, right? You're tapping a keg, and so this was very exciting for me anyway, and getting to do this. And he offered, I took the chance to do it. Eric's filming. He's going to go now around the other side and obviously hold the back of the keg so that when I pound on this thing, it doesn't go off the counter. But here we go. Yeah.
All right. Way to go.
It was great.
Yeah!
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah!
And the beer. Wow.
Good!
Yeah, the beer was tasty. I mean, it tasted every bit of Bikini Blonde. And the coffee infusion was right there.
Excellent!
It's just a beautiful mix. I mean, it's almost a mixed drink of beers.
It was fantastic. And I'm, of course, wearing a little bit of it. I didn't do too bad, apparently.
He was pretty nice about it. He did close the tap for me.
He at least closed the tap off. But here's what I want you to see, the head on this thing. Of course, very similar. And just a big foamy head, gorgeous, creamy, foamy head. There you go. Flavor, I can tell. Right there at that moment when that glass started to fill up, I could actually smell the coffee beans in the air.
Yeah, it almost smelled like somebody opened a Starbucks down the street.
It really did, especially when you bring it up to your nose, obviously, even more so. But look, you can see the color there is a little bit darker than the Bikini Blonde that we're having now. But, oh man, is it good. Infused with coffee beans, and it really had like this chocolate espresso coffee bean kind of aroma to it, I thought.
Yeah, and the just the feel in your mouth too. I mean, not being that carbonated, it was, you know, you swish it around. It was delicious.
All the coffee beans and all the Bikini Blonde smells. That was worth waiting for. This is delicious. Happy Firkin Friday.
Well,
that was a good time.
Cheers, Eric. That
Cheers.
was fantastic. Great afternoon, and we'll do it again. We're planning to go down there for pretty much every first Friday, I think, from now on, and tap that keg. I may not be as lucky next time to tap it, or maybe you'll get to tap the next one.
Yeah, it'd be
Who
nice.
knows? Anyway, it's been a great show.
Yeah, love these lagers.
Yeah, fantastic loggers. And we'll thanks for watching the beer show, and we'll see you next time. I'm Steve B.
Eric T.
Eric T.
See you next time.
2, 3, 4. When I'm lonely, I drink a fancy beer. Oh, when I want you only, I drink a fancy beer. And when the weather's stormy and daybreak is far, I throw an extra $1.